We have a bass guitar here. I talked to somebody on Instagram through the Christmas break, and I think that guy was from Argentina. And he has a bass. I don't remember if it was a P bass or a jazz bass, but excuse me. I told him I would paint a bass for him. This isn't for him, but it's just a bass guitar. And it's going to be a 3-tone. Okay? So, it's already been undercoated and sealed and all of that, and sanded. You see the yellow on there. It's got the yellow. This is alder. So, I'm ready to now start spraying the burst. This is dark soda. It's not black. It's close to black, but it's not black. And I'll use a little gun here for this. You don't have to use a little gun. You could use any size gun. But this one, I think it's a 1.0 size tip. And one of the things I do, I have my fan. Let's see if I can show you. I don't know if I can. It's probably about, where I'm shooting about, what is this, 4 or 5 inches away. My fan's about that wide, right there. So it's not turned all the way down to just a pencil. It's opened up to about 2 or 3 inches when I'm about that far away. And again, none of this stuff is like, hey, some kind of rule, but I'm just showing you the way I've developed over time. So, I like to do the sides first. And when you have a spinner thing like this, what I've discovered is doing it this way, spraying it side, like this, in this position. Helps to minimize overspray that gets on the faces. Not everybody has these spinners, I understand that. But I'll start with just getting partial coverage on the one side there. Then I'll flip it around. And I'll do this side. With the bottom of my fan, I'm trying to put the bottom part of my fan right on the corner there, the edge of the side. So a little bit is getting on the face, but that's okay, because we're going to burst that. Right now we're just focusing on the sides. Okay, now, I forgot when I was doing this side. Normally I would do this, do all the horns. It's the same idea. Using, in this case, the top part of my fan. You know, if my fan's this wide, I'm using this part to spray the sides. Because this is my fan, right? My fingers pretend like that, right? And I use the top part of it, most of it, the paint going here. But if I use the bottom part of my fan, most of the paint would be going up here. So you don't want that. So the other thing is tilting it helps. Tilting your gun helps to aim the paint more rather than shooting it straight on like this. So tilt it. Okay, so now I will do this side. I already did that side. I'll do the in here. And I'm also controlling the amount of material that comes out by how much I pull the trigger. The air just is always a set amount of air, whatever you do. I like about just enough to atomize the paint. I can tell by feeling it, but some people want to use a gauge. That's fine. Probably 10, 15 pounds. Okay, so now where was I? Let's do this side. I get pretty close. And I'm not using a lot of material. As you can see, it's taken me about 4 or 5 passes to get the coverage I want. So it's not because the paint is weak, it's because I'm just not putting on very much with each pass. Okay, flip it around. Okay, do it here. It's easy to get light spots inside the horns. That's why I go over them a number of times. Okay, now I'll do the bottom. Now I could do the bottom like this, or I could do the bottom like this, but I like to do it this way. Same thing, using the bottom part of my fan, so most of the paint is getting on the side, not the side. Okay, we got the sides covered. Now, let's turn our fan down to no fan, just a straight line. Turn our air down. Then go over and make a burst. Just aiming right on the point of the curve there, the edge. And when I do bursts, you want to keep your wrist locked. You don't want your wrist moving around. You follow me? Like, don't be doing this, just keep your wrist locked. And I move my whole arm, my whole body. My arm doesn't move that much. Yeah. Controlling all the while how much material comes out. Don't want to put it on too wet, too fast. Don't want to put it on too dry. Put it on too dry, it starts to get a lot of weird overspray in the middle. So you just got to find the sweet spot there, where you get enough paint on there to make it just barely look wet with each pass, and it just builds up. Okay, there. Now normally what I would do, set this aside, let it dry for a couple of minutes, and then tack rag it. Get all the overspray I have on there off of there. But I'll just do it now and be extra careful. Here's the red I'm going to use. Set that over here. Now this is lacquer, and it dries pretty fast. See, I just did the sides, what has it been, a few minutes ago. I'm not going to already touch them. I just did that burst. I can already touch it. So you don't have to worry about smearing this wet paint, because it's already kind of dry to the touch, but I'm not going to put a lot of pressure. I'm just wiping it off, because I'm getting the overspray. It's hard to see overspray, but it's there. Some people aren't familiar with these tack cloths. It's just you know, in cooking they use a cheesecloth for filtering stuff. It's kind of like that, except it's a little bit sticky. So you just wipe it on the surface, and it collects all the overspray. Okay? Okay, now I'll do this side. Okay, blow it off just in case there's any little hairs or anything from that tack rag. Now, I could put the red on there as it is, but I personally like to add, this is the wrong kind of clear. Let me get the clear gun I want to use for this. There it is. We'll put a light coat, just barely wet, on there. Just on the faces. Because that way it helps you see the burst the way you've done it. And if there's any funny areas, it's just a little bit easier to see when it's been cleared. Another thing that happens sometimes with nitrocellulose lacquer is once you put clear on it, you know the soft edge part here? This side, when you put clear on it, sometimes it shrinks, and you kind of get, instead of a soft fade, you see individual little specks of paint, and I don't like that look personally. So when that happens, I can just go over it again with the color, kind of just fade and soften the burst even a little bit more. And any of those areas that kind of have that spotty look. Another thing you can do is, let's say your burst isn't completely even all the way. Wider here, thinner there. You can fix those kinds of things. Be patient. A lot of things that I see is people are just not patient. No rush. You don't need to rush through this stuff. Take your time. Okay? And on these bases, we need to close this off. We don't need to, but that's how we do it. See how the yellow comes up here? Just kind of fog that in a little bit. Like that. Okay? Red time. Let's get some red. Okay, turn the fan all the way down. A little bit of air, a little bit of material, and I'm going to aim my fan like right here in the black, not here, right in the black, as I go around. And it's real easy to, if you're aiming right here and you feel like, hey, my red's not showing up, you can move up a little bit and do it, right? So you can control, if you're not sure how strong your paint is, shoot more into the black. Then you can see, okay, the red, I can see it. Follow me? Just a way of, sort of a precautionary way to spray it. Spray, the more you spray into the black, the less red gets on the surface. You want wider red. Start more a little bit closer to the yellow. There. Like that. Now Fenders, they don't do this part. It's under the pick guard, so this is just a traditional thing. The farther away you spray, softer that inner edge is going to be, this side, to a point. If you get too far away, it starts to look weird. It gets gritty and sandy and just funny looking. So again, kind of got to find that sweet spot. There. Now, let's tack rag it again, because there's red in the middle. It's hard to see it again from the camera, but I'm telling you, there's red. Let's see, there's no red here. Let's see if I can capture it. Yeah, look, can you see the red on the rag? That tells you, okay? Get a little bit of a cleaner yellow when you do it like this. Same with this side. There. See, look at all that red. Blow it off. And that would be done. Except I'll put clear on there just because it's fun, alright? Where's my clear gun? Here it is. No, that's not the one. Where's the one I want? Where is it? Did I put it away? Where'd I put it? Shoot. Here it is. And this time, it's a clear gun. It's just a normal gun, but it's like a 1.3. Using a little bigger fan, a little more air. Putting it on wet. Nice overlapping coats. Some people say, how many coats do you put on a clear? There's no one answer to that. So what if some clears thicker than others? What if the way one guy sprays is wetter than the other guy? You know what I mean? You put on as many coats as it takes to get the look that you want. That's one coat right there. Okay?